Hello. Um, this is going to be part two of what I think is going to be a group of YouTubes called The Universe is a Mind. I spoke briefly last week about how I interpreted the quote from A Course in Miracles that says we're thoughts within the mind of God to be evidence that the universe itself is a mind, and that it's the mind of the universe that causes the manifestation of atoms and molecules and all the wonderful things that we see. And I likened it to when we go to sleep at night, we often go into a dream state, and in a dream state, we can create palaces and landscapes and people and everything, and it all seems extremely real to us in the dream. And then I went on to argue that if the universe itself is a mind, how powerful would be the dream that the universe creates? And then I've been thinking for some time about the mechanism of mind and how mind causes manifestation. And a good friend of mine told me that in the Vedas they talked about vibrations in the fabric of the universe, and those are thoughts. And I think it's no coincidence that we've created televisions and radios and communication devices that can send messages in the form of waves. So if we transmit a broadcast wave, we can send out music, or we can send out pictures, or we can send out any sort of information. In fact, we've got an internet now that's so powerful that works on sending out messages. And these messages are either waves or vibrations or pieces of bytes. So if you've got any knowledge of how TVs work, you'll know that basically a TV wave broadcast goes through the air, is picked up by your TV aerial, then it goes down the wire from the TV aerial into the TV, and then the TV takes little bits of information, which could be like Morse code, and then that converts it into a picture. And I started to think, if the mind of the universe, which is the universe itself, which it is a mind, if it had some kind of subatomic vibration, and I'm talking about very subatomic, like 10 to the minus 47 meters or something, I mean, that would be smaller than an atom, that vibrations within the fabric of the mind could cause a cooperative effect. So fabric of the mind could actually be moved by vibrations at the level of thought. The vibrations at the level of thought could cause large disturbances around them, and the large disturbances around them could then manifest the qualities that we recognize, say, atoms by. So the thought of a hydrogen atom could actually cause the mind of the universe to behave around that thought in such a way that we believe it is a hydrogen atom. There's lots of dimensions in the universe, and each dimension is, in a sense, a channel into which information can be put to describe the nature of everything that's created. It's one of these theories that I don't think we'll ever be able to prove, because if the universe thinks of a hydrogen atom and we measure it scientifically, we'll find out it's a hydrogen atom. We've got to the point where we know how to split atoms, and we prove to ourselves that they're actually no more solid than anything else, that what they are really is energy. So we've come to accept that energy creates matter, but we haven't actually answered the question yet about why does energy choose to create matter? In other words, why does energy that is not a hydrogen atom decide to behave like it's a hydrogen atom? Well, my theory is that there is some sort of a command is given to that energy to take on the nature of hydrogen atom, and that command comes from a creative level of mind. We are thoughts within that field of mind, but we are also, we have the capacity to create thoughts ourselves. So clearly we have the ability to cause vibrations in the fabric of space, if you want to call it that. There's a very famous book called The Secret, which was made into a film, and in the film they assert that if you visualize something enough times a day, which is to think the same thought lots and lots of times and input lots and lots of information about it, you'll actually cause things to manifest in your life. I mean, they're talking about manifesting wealth, homes, cars, success, careers, and so on. But if this is a giant mind that we're part of, then anything is literally possible. And the very fact that we visualize something would actually cause a creative thought, which would be a very subatomic vibration around which manifestation would, in a sense, pad it out. It's not that different, really, from prayer. The only difference with prayer is that we ask to be shown better answers. I think I do like the idea of asking the Holy Spirit to give me a miracle, because I know if the Holy Spirit gives me a miracle, then I'll get what I need and I won't be trapped by greed or fear or any other manifestation that would keep me believing I'm just a body, because I'm not. Going back to thoughts within the mind of the universe, one of the problems about communicating is the speed of light, and in the measurable universe, as we see it as scientists, it's said nothing goes faster than the speed of light. So there's been a lot of controversy about this, and argument that the universe expanded faster than the speed of light in the early stages. So the question is, if space can expand faster than the speed of light, but nothing can travel faster than the speed of light within the space, what's the ultimate speed? And I started to think that if an atom is, let's say, an event, and we see it as moving from one place to another place, since it's a packet of information, then the information of the atom is travelling through space. And I was down at the beach last year, I think it was, watching the sea, and I noticed that there was a certain speed that waves travelled at, and depending on how fast the wind is and things like that, and they don't seem to travel faster than that. I think you don't get 200-mile-an-hour waves, because the water is too dense and it's got to actually be moved. But then I was watching a program about blue whales, and they were saying that a blue whale could communicate with another blue whale right across the Atlantic, 3,000 miles away, and that the sound of the blue whale's voice travels through the water at over 800 miles an hour. So I started to think that we've got transverse waves that are limited, but that longitudinal waves, which are basically compressions, could travel a lot faster than that. Now, the thing that stops bodies accelerating past the speed of light is, as they get closer to the speed of light, their mass increases. Well, this is what Einstein deduced, that it becomes infinitely more difficult to accelerate a body the closer it gets to c, which is the speed of light. So he therefore deduced that if it's requiring more and more force, it must be gaining in mass. But if you think about mass as one of the input parameters, it's one of the dimensions. So when we make width, height, depth when we're describing an atom, and then we have to say what its mass is, and then because we need to understand in the physical three-dimensional universe what's going on, we've invented this idea of force. And force is required to cause mass to accelerate. But if at a very subatomic level, where mass has not been put in as a construction input, there is no mass. So thoughts within the universe could travel from one side of the galaxy or one side of the universe to the other instantly, because they've got no mass. So therefore, it would be possible in the case of the two-slit theory, where you get two quanta in entanglement, for them to be communicating perfectly through transverse transmissions, although they themselves are flying apart at the speed of light through what we know as the physical universe. Thank you for listening. I've got a lot more on this one. I'll come back very soon.